Wasted World of Sports, ahoy! Welcome along Thursday Night Footy. We are ready to get underway here. The grand final rematch. A lot of people have been waiting for this one. Parramatta Eels. Who would have thought that they could be looking at an 0-4 record at the end of tonight? I don't think anybody saw that coming at the start of the season. Certainly not me. Don't get me wrong, I'm very glad that they are, because they're not exactly... The honeymoon's over. Eels, I was supportive of you last week. You let me down, as you always do. So bollocks to it. I hope the Panthers wipe the floor with you tonight. Penrith Panthers, for them, business as usual. They've lost the likes of Coruscant and Kickow. Still the same team, really, at the end of the day, aren't they? A bit of a shaky start, but they're starting to look very, very ominous for the rest of the competition. On the Panthers tonight, as you probably would have guessed, Dustin Fisher, ahoy mate. Immortal Wolf, ahoy there. Paraleo, you accidentally picked the Panthers. Who would win? No. Accidentally? Well, it might be a very happy accident come the end of the game, right? A very happy accident indeed. Should the Panthers get up and get the victory? Quite often they're close contests between these two teams. That made selecting a same-game multi very difficult. More difficult than normal. And then, of course, I made some choices in a same-game multi. One of them being Liam Martin. I had this whole speech prepared for the pre-game. Oh, by the way, this game is Parramatta versus the Penrith Panthers. I had this whole speech prepared for my pre-game. I do the pre-game talk, and I was going to talk all about Liam Martin, but there's not any point now, is there? In case you haven't heard, Liam Martin, of course, ruled out of this contest. Zach Hoskin has come in to start for the Panthers. Big news there, really. Liam Martin, he hasn't been in the best form. I was all ready to talk about how this will be his turnaround. Tonight's the night where it all gels for him and life goes back to normal. Guess we have to wait another week. Looking forward to this one, a grand final rematch. The grand final was a very comprehensive victory to the Panthers. But let's not forget that during the preseason last year, what happened? Parramatta won every game, didn't they? Against the Panthers. But this is a very different looking Parramatta Eels team, no doubt. And you'd have to say that based on current form, you struggle to see it really being close. So we're about 10 minutes away, roughly. 10 minutes away from the teams running out onto the field. Mitchell Moses is out there going through his warm-up. All the promotion this week, though, has been tomorrow night's game, hasn't it? The Dolphins versus the Broncos. The Dolphins have only just come into this competition, and they're already talking about rivalries. How can we seriously be talking about rivalries? The two teams haven't even played each other yet, have they? I don't believe they have. I don't think the Dolphins and the Broncos played in the trials. Why are we talking about rivalries? They haven't even... Rivalries are forged over time and whatnot. Eel fries, ahoy there, mate. But either way, rivalry or not, it should be a good game indeed, Dustin. Mr. Ed's dead, ahoy. Welcome along, mate. Yeah, I just don't understand all this rivalry talk. I guess it dates back to the Brisbane Broncos being perceived, and they probably did. I don't know enough about back in those days to comment on it, but the perception was that the Broncos did everything in their power to block any more Queensland teams coming into the competition. Certainly from the Brisbane region, anyway. So perhaps they're just playing on that as a built-in automatic rivalry. But I'll tell you what, for a rivalry to exist, some teams have to win, some teams have to lose. It's not much of a rivalry if one, like the Sharks Raiders, for example. The Sharks versus Raiders, that's not a rivalry. The Raiders have won the last 9. That's not a rivalry, that's a demolition job. Can't claim that as a rivalry. So for it to evolve into a proper rivalry, the Dolphins are going to have to win some. The Broncos are going to have to win some other ones. Otherwise, bloody shambles, isn't it? Oh, see, ahoy there, mate. How are you going? All right, 10 minutes to go till this one. That's enough. Bobsy, ahoy, mate. That's enough about the Dolphins and the Broncos. Let's go. Oh, thank you. Got a present. Delivered by a naked person. Vobsy, how are you? Okay, now, what was I on about? This game. Same game multi. I was leaning towards Liam Martin, as I mentioned at the top. Liam Martin now ruled out. I'm not entirely sure what's wrong with him, but sure we'll find out at some point. But let's have a look. I have got a couple of same game multis on. Both of them are 3 legs. Brian To'o is somebody who quite regularly scores tries in the contests against Parramatta, so we have to put Brian To'o in there somewhere. Clint Gutherson always seems to manage a try against the Panthers as well, whether it be a consolation try or not. So I think those are 2 very, very good options, To'o and Gutherson. And then I've gone 2 ways here, so I was leaning towards Liam Martin. I've kind of gone a little bit left field. And I'll go in with Spencer Leniu. I believe that there will be a try through the forwards at some point for the Panthers against the Eels. It would have been Liam Martin. Liam Martin not playing. I'm just leaning towards Spencer Leniu. Spencer Leniu is coming off the bench. So a try for him won't be until later on in the first half, and then probably a second stint towards the end of the game. And then one of the others, I've gone completely left field, and I've included Mike Acevo and Dylan Edwards. Dylan Edwards is due, for sure. I have been talking Dylan Edwards up all season so far. He's due. He's got to be due to have a big game. So we'll see what happens. But my main multi, Clint Gutherson, Stephen Crichton, who has been the first try scorer for the Panthers the past few games, and Brian To'o. So Gutherson, Crichton, To'o, that's worth $130. Sevo, Edwards, and Leniu is worth $243. That's where I'm leaning at the moment. I dare say the smart money's on the Panthers to win. But as always, all we can hope for is a decent game. Vobsy says, why was I hearing things about Leniu coming to the Roosters? My understanding is that rumours were circulating, and they were just that. I believe. But then you just never know with the Roosters, do you? And this isn't even a joke. This is you never know. So he is moving on, obviously. But the rumor was, just so that I can clarify, the rumor circulating was that he was going straight away. And I believe the Roosters were probably interested in luring him over straight away. But if you're Penrith, you're not letting Spencer Leniu go early out of his contract without some very big remuneration. Well, ahoy there, mate. No one wanted to play for the Roosters in the 80s and 90s. Now everybody wants to play for the Roosters, apparently. Yep. The Roosters, indeed, Fopsy, are usually the first point of call for the rumour mill. So Spencer Leniu is leaving Penrith. This is his finals this year, I believe. It's his final season on contract. But they'll be right, the Panthers. So they've got that bloody factory, that production line there at the foot of the mountain. They'll be absolutely fine. I'll tell you what, I thought that they would really be missing Api Coruscant. But Sonny Luke, he's another one to watch out for tonight, actually. I was very tempted to throw him in the anytime try scorer market. Sonny Luke coming off the bench playing the Api Coruscant role. Spencer Leniu would be a very good fit at the Bulldogs, for sure. Spencer Leniu for the Army kick-out, side by side once again. Not a bad little combo. What do we got? We got 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes to go here. Seems pretty lopsided in the chat room. 22 votes. 77% have gone for the Panthers. 23% Eels. Will asks, what do I think of the Bulldogs at this stage? Disappointing. I've been saying it for a few seasons now. The Bulldogs, a couple of years ago, I was anticipating them to turn the corner, though they were still missing a proper halves combination. I was extremely disappointed with them last season, and they haven't exactly started with a hiss and a roar this year. But they're doing okay at this point. Ed Vogel, ahoy, mate. I think the Bulldogs, the Titans showed we can't read too much into a victory over the Storm, put it that way. If the Titans are beating the Storm, I don't think there's too many bragging rights in that this season. Not at the moment, anyway. But let's not forget, Melbourne Storm under strength at the moment. I think they'll feature at the back end of the season still. Curious to see what's in store for the future. Melbourne Storm, though. Very curious to see how their future pans out. I did always say they would be in trouble when another Queensland team comes into it. That's their breeding ground. Melbourne's breeding ground has always been Queensland. Just a fact of the matter. Melbourne Storm supporters get upset when you call Melbourne Storm a Queensland team, but they basically were. There was one point in time where there were eight Queensland Maroons representatives in the Melbourne Storm starting lineup at one stage there. It's not an insult. Where are they going to get juniors from in Melbourne? All the juniors are playing Aussie rules. But anyway, I digress. It's not about that tonight. Tonight, it's about The Parramatta Eels, the Penrith Panthers, last year's grand finalists. Parramatta are staring down an 0-4 start to the season. And who'd have thought that? Is this the worst start to a new season by a grand finalist in NRL history? Very interesting. Vopsy says, when I was young, I actually thought Melbourne was in Queensland. Well, we do have a Melbourne street. In Brisbane City, there is a Melbourne street. Teams are running out onto the field. Let's get this game going. Probably should put the right screen on as well. Be helpful. Robert M. Ahoy. I've got a couple of multis on this game. The main one being Clint Gutherson. There he is with his sumo haircut. We've got all the streets here in Brisbane, Vopsy. There's a Melbourne street. There's an Adelaide street. Yes, Ed Vogel, big news in the rugby union. Razor Scott Robertson, should say, named the head coach of the All Blacks after the World Cup and moving forward. And a lot of All Black supporters breathe a massive, massive sigh of relief. I think we've all pretty much accepted that the All Blacks do, however well they do, this World Cup, because it would have been too late even if Razor got the gig for this one. We are underway here, though. Parramatta will get first use of the ball. It's a little bit of wet weather footy, which I believe plays into Parramatta's hands, typically, in matches against the Panthers. However, this Harlem Globetrotter style of football that the Eels have been playing to start the year might not be well suited for them, but we'll see. They play a different game against the Panthers, usually, don't they? That grand final performance aside, they do seem to have a game that troubles the Panthers. We'll see. Just going through the hands, playing it very easily, very safely in the first set. And the Eels get up to halfway with first use of the ball. Moses puts the ball high. And it's taken very comfortably by Taruva. No pressure on him at the back. And it's the Panthers' turn to go through the motions. Get themselves into this game. Thomas 12, ahoy there. Welcome along. Brian To'o, one of my try scorers. Doing the hard yards. Brighton now involved. Solid defense here, Parramatta. It's tackle 4. They're only 30 meters out here, the Panthers. Big first set of 6 on defense. They need to keep that up all game, though. That was a great set defensively from the Panthers. Cleary kicking from his own 30-meter line. Gutherson now brings it back, but he's driven backwards in a 3-man tackle. And both teams very solid on defense. But early advantage goes to the Eels. Oh, slightly forward there from Gutherson. They get away with it. And the Eels find themselves just shy of the halfway line on tackle 3, winning the early territorial advantage. But it is very, very, very early, isn't it? It's only the second set of 6 here. Now it's show to go. Dummies almost gets through the gap there. Hopgood. 5th and last. They're 30 out. Brown puts an attacking kick into the corner, looking for Sivo. But Dylan Edwards comes forward, leaps, and takes it above everybody. Comfortable as you could possibly want at the back. Dylan Edwards. That is the man you want back there in this situation. And now he gets himself involved, taking a hit out. Oh, an extremely underrated player, Dylan Edwards. Extremely underrated. Isaiah Yeo gets through the first tackle. Now he's told to play it, despite the fact he was not held. But it's the fifth and last Panthers. Cleary kicking from his 30 again. This one, it's going to fall short of Sivo unless he gets a hurry on. And he does. Sivo moving forward, takes it on the full. And Parramatta again, early advantage in territory, starting this set 40 metres out from their own line. They're doing the hard work defensively early. But as I said, they've got to keep it going. Moses dummies and tries to go on his own. 6 again, and now a penalty. Moses taps and goes, catches them napping, and gets himself up to 35 metres out from the Panthers' line. Very smart play there, Moses. Regan Toodads with a hit up. And Parramatta, it's very, very early, but they're looking slick. Do you dare to believe, Parramatta fans? Do you dare to believe? They're off to a very good start here. Out to the left they go. Cut out ball, Gutherson to nobody. And those are the sorts of plays that were coming off for the Eels last season. Those are the sorts of plays you need to come off at any point in time against the Panthers. Parlo's on the charge. 10 out, fifth and last. They go to the right. Brown out the back to nobody. The ball finds grass again. And Parramatta, the play to the left from Gutherson. The pass finds the grass. The play to the right on the fifth and last. The ball finds the grass. And that's really a wasted opportunity early. I'm starting to understand why Gutherson runs on his own a lot, Fobsy, yes. Gutherson goes on his own a lot, and I've figured it out. It's because he clearly can't pass. Big defense again, though, Parramatta. They make it. Oh, big wedgie there. Now, short side play, Cleary. Flicks it inside. Uh-oh, takes it up. They're getting the front foot here. Now, stepping around is Jerome Luai. He's caught on the fifth and last midfield. Cleary puts the ball high. Pressure tester here for Parramatta. Oh, and Sivo. Micah Sivo leaping forward and taking that no issue at all. But Penrith, they had an opportunity there to show their wares. For Parramatta, they're looking very comfortable when they keep it one out, keeping the ball one out, two out from the ruck, going through the phases. But then as soon as they tried to open up down Penrith's end, passes hitting the dirt, and plays just being stopped dead, especially on the fifth and last. Not what you want. Speaking of fifth and last, here it is, and Moses puts the kick into the corner. Haruva takes it on the full and looks up at some open pasture. And they're just slowly turning it around here, the Panthers. Slowly tipping the balance and getting themselves some front foot ball. Much help from this man, Dylan Edwards. Trying to get his team to go forwards. An early kick here, Cleary from inside the 40. He catches Gutherson a bit far on the right-hand side. He doesn't have the right angle for a 40-20, but that is a good deep kick. Oh, Gutherson. He links up. He links up well with Simonson, almost getting into space, and he puts a big shove on. A big don't argue. Was that Jerome Luai who got shoved off, or was that Isaac Talgo? Oh, and now another mistake from Parramatta. It's gone backwards, but the ball finding the grass again. And tackle 3. 20 out. Sevo with a good hit up. Just trying to get things going back in the right direction. 5th and last. Oh, it's popped out the back. The Eels keep it alive. Regan Toodads takes it up the middle of the field. 5th and last now. Parramatta 30 out from their own line for Moses. Straight down the throat of Dylan Edwards. And he looks up and sees a good 20 metres of space. Fires it across to Crichton, though. Risky stuff there. But really, not that much of a difference in the result had he just gone to ground himself. 100% completion rate for both teams early. The Eels, they've dropped the ball multiple times, but they've dropped it backwards. Lucky for them. Up over halfway now go the Panthers, and that's a big hit. Hodgson gets a big hit on. Cleary taking it to the line, holds it up for Yo. Yo! He powers through the tackle and is brought down. Desperation defense. 5th and last. Cleary running it to the line again and looking very dangerous. Pops it off to Garner, and Garner, he has nothing to do but drop to ground. And that is a handover. Parramatta, they hold on there. But the Panthers looking very dangerous when Cleary takes the ball to the line like that. And Isaiah Yeo nearly getting through. Well, he did break through one tackle. But Penrith are just starting to get into their game here. Parramatta, they need to fix up the errors. Well, they're not really errors per se, officially on the statistics sheet. They're dropping the ball backwards a lot. They need to hold on to the ball. Up over halfway, they are now on the 5th and last. So territory has swung around in favour of the Panthers here on the back of Cleary's early kick on tackle 3 from inside his 40. And they are keeping those kicks away from To'o. They don't want To'o doing the carries. They're picking out Taruva and kicking to him, but he's been very comfortable. Perhaps the theory is he's not as damaging on the kick return. Now they spread it wide. They've created an overlap. But Crichton steps back in field. The sliding defense of Parramatta numbers up and shuts them down. But it was enough for Crichton to get front foot ball and win a penalty for his team. Holding the man down to prevent the quick play of the ball. And they end up giving away easy meters. Starting to look very dangerous here, the Panthers. Fisher Harris off the back of that penalty. They are 35 out. Quick play the ball on this short side. Garner takes it into the tackle. Yo, out the back to Cleary. Cleary dummies inside, goes outside to Edwards. Edwards gets all tangled up with Crichton like they're having a little game of Twister and must surrender or give away a penalty. And surrender he does. Leota winding up those big legs. Quick play the ball. Yo. Cleary. Now cut out ball to Luai. Luai feeds it along the line to Tungo. And Tungo is taken 5th and last. They're 10 metres out. Big open side to the right. But Cleary just chips it in down the middle. It's taken on the full by Brown. And Brown is tackled back into his end goal. A result there for the Panthers. And the Eels hold on again. But they're looking dangerous here. Penrith. They are looking very, very dangerous. Nathan Cleary is running the ball to the line. Isaiah Yeo looks threatening every time he decides to put his head down. Short dropout, Gutherson. It's going to go very close to the sideline. And Sevo Out leaps Brian To'o with ease. And the Eels get the ball back. I thought for one brief moment that was going out on the full. And what insult to injury that would be. Sivo with a great take. And it was, he's been held, but pops the offload away. Got to go back and play it, mate. Tackle 3. They're just short of the halfway line. Now they're over it. Junior Paulo. Gutherson dummies and goes on his own. He gets through the first tackle, Gutherson. And then he's brought down on the 5th and last. 6 again for a ruck infringement. He couldn't get the quick play the ball away. And now it's the Panthers who need to hold on. What have the Eels got? Can they fire a shot here at the reigning premiers? What a result it would be for them after all the defence they've had to do. Oh, more passes to ground. More passes to ground. Gutherson scoops it up. But by the time he regathers possession, there's nothing he can do. They can't mount an attack with this sort of passing. Hodgson just settles it down in front of the post. Just real coach killer stuff here from the Eels. They go right. Moses is waiting. Sends the inside ball to Regan Two Dads. And he's tackled on the 5th and last. They're just 5 short of the line. Hodgson to Moses. They go left. Brown puts it in. And that is a try for Cartwright. Bryce Cartwright sliding along, gathers the loose ball. And Parramatta, would you believe, get the first try. Incredible. Bryce Cartwright, I did not see that coming. But how often do you see it in a game of footy? All the attack is happening down the other end. One team is under the pump. They survive by hook or by crook. And they come back down the other end and score with relative ease. It's got to be said, relative ease. They made that look very, very simple. And I have to say, as Moses moves in and converts from just to the left of the post, 6 points to 0, Parramatta 15 minutes gone. And really, it must be said, completely against the run of play. Or maybe not completely, but there's been a lot of early domination. Penrith are the only team that have really had an opportunity to score up until this point. And Parramatta get down the other end and ace their first effort. Robert David, ahoy, welcome along. And Vincent Spears, ahoy, mate. How are you going? 6 points to 0, Parramatta. 15 minutes, I apologize, gone. And the Panthers get us back underway. And Paulo rumbling upfield from the kickoff. Parramatta now, they are full of running. Tackle 4, up towards halfway. Hodgson scampers out a dummy half, puts the kick in himself. Edwards is back there, though, well positioned, and he will bring this back. Gets away from the first tackle, Edwards. Parramatta, they've turned things around, though. Oh, Taruva was lined up there by Hodgson. He missed him. That's a good run in the end. Taruva. The Panthers forwards a bit slow to get back here. There they are. They're back. Oh, and he's taken a clip around the back of the head there. Nothing in that. will get up and will play on. And Edwards takes it up over halfway and into Parramatta territory on the 5th and last. They go away from Cleary, and it's the left foot from Luai. High, the chase is good. Pressure on Simonson, but he comes down with it. Oh, and now Simonson's picked up and dumped by Fisher Harris. That was an interesting little wrestling match going on the ground there. And the intensity's just lifted here from Penrith. They see an opportunity to keep Parramatta pinned down here and wrestle some of the ascension back. Quite literally, wrestle the ascension back after what we just saw from Fisher Harris. Oh, Mitchell Moses, hand that man the Oscar. Because he has milked that one. Farmer Moses. Milky, milk. And he wins his team a penalty there. I don't know how you can get penalised for holding down when your arms are nowhere near the opposition. But the end result is Parramatta have the ball back on attack here. 30 out on tackle 1 from the Panthers line. Regan Toodads with another settling run in front of the sticks. They go to the left. Moses out the back to Brown. Brown is shut down by Crichton. Pops a very dangerous ball up. And To'o, if Brian To'o were 2 inches taller, he would have been able to intercept that. And now Lionel Murphy with the knock on in the play of the ball. Parramatta are up 6-0, but it's been far from crisp, far from convincing at this particular point in time. And that's the first incomplete set of this game, I would like to point out as well. 19 minutes gone. That is the first time we've seen an incomplete set of 6. Is that not unbelievable? That's crazy. 19 minutes into the match, our first incomplete set by either team. Penrith are still completing at 100%. Given the slightly wet conditions, the handling has been amazing. Although Parramatta have dropped the ball a lot, they've just dropped it backwards, haven't they? Tackle 4 here, Panthers. They're inside Eels territory. They play to the left. Cleary out the back to Luai. Luai, goose step, gets away from Moses. Moses comes at him a second time, and Luai's knocked the ball on. Oh, the crowd's into him. The crowd is into Jerome Luai here. He makes the mistake. It's Mitch Moses, the second attempt. And he goes and knocks the ball out. Scrum down 30 out from their own line. Parramatta holding on to that 6-0 lead. Heel Fries is talking to Jerome Luai. Vincent? The Parramatta faithful seem to have a new nickname for Jerome. As the Eels march on into Panthers territory once more. Hopgood drawing in defenders. Short ball to Paulo. Paulo had Gutherson lurking on his left shoulder. 5th and last, 20 out. They go to the left. This is where they had success last time. Brown goes high this time. They rip the ball away from Edwards. And it's a knock on by Parramatta first, I believe. Loose ball dived on by Crichton. Oh, they're in a mess at marker there, Parramatta. What's going on? Dylan Brown very late to arrive on the scene. Oh, Taruva. A big hit from Regan Toodads. Cleary takes it to the line. looking around for somebody to pass it to. And just a little bit hit. Oh, and now Mitch Kenny loses the ball forward. Mitch Kenny out of dummy half, losing the ball. And this is a result for Parramatta right on the halfway line. They're challenging, though, the Panthers. They're not challenging. It's a scrum down. I thought I heard the referee say a challenge. Cleary juggles the ball from the pass, and then that kind of killed that play off. And Mitch Kenny trying to get quick ball from dummy half, losing it forward. And the Panthers just getting themselves into a little bit of trouble here. Parramatta seem to have this way. Grand final last year aside, the Eels, they have this way of just getting in the heads of the Panthers. Paulo takes it up, tackle 3. They stay on the short side to the left. But bringing it back midfield is Bryce Cartwright. Moses takes it to the line. The grubber kick through. Edwards is up in the line and out of position again. And that's a result. That is a result for Parramatta. And you'd have to say, Mitch Moses, I know this might be very hard to believe, but Mitch Moses, at the moment, has the ball on a string and is kicking the Panthers to death. Old mate Beavis up in the coach's box. This is a low, flat dropout, bouncing awkwardly for Pinasini. He taps it down with his foot, plays it safe, takes it forward. A bit of a nothing dropout in the end, really. And Parramatta start 30 metres out. Up around the head there of RCG. Moses out to the left to Brown. Brown to Gutherson. Gutherson steps Cleary, but then is brought down in the cover defence by Hosking. Danger signs here for the Panthers. The Eels offloading. And now Moses puts the kick in out wide for Simonson, who was winning the chase. And Taruva saves the day. Go Gadget Arms gets in front of Simonson and taps that ball dead. And I'd be very interested to see if Simonson was even onside. But Taruva, what a try-saving moment. Cleary, this one is short, and it's too short. It's going to be a penalty to the Eels right in front of the posts. And surely you take the 2. Take the 2. Take the 2. Take the 2. A gift 2-pointer here. I really hate this short dropout stuff. Is it really worth the risk? The opportunity to get the ball back or potentially give away a gift 2 points in front of the sticks. And it's something that's just crept into the game. One team started doing it, so everybody else is trying to adopt it. For me, drop that ball down on the ground. Boot the son of a bitch as far upfield as you possibly can. That's what I'd be doing. None of this short dropout nonsense. Penalty goal from right in front. Successful. And Parramatta 8 points to 0. 8 points to 0. Didn't see this coming. Really did not see this coming. It was all Penrith. Apart from the first couple of sets of 6, Penrith were well on top in territory and looking like they were just getting into their game and starting to look very dangerous. Didn't get any points on the board. Parramatta been all them since their short dropout. And Mike Acevo outleapt Brian To'o. The very next set of 6, they scored the first try. And now a penalty to go 8-0 in front. But yes, I've just been bagging out short dropouts. It's the Eels' short dropout that has swung the momentum and got them right on the front foot here. And they are just marching upfield. 6 again now. A set restart for inside the 10. And the Eels' juggernaut is just rolling on here. There is just something about this team when they play competition round games against the Penrith Panthers. And then they show up at finals time and stink out the joint. Gutherson lap. I'm so excited I can't speak. Gutherson wrapping around and nearly goes through a gaping hole. Brown calling troops to run on the inside. They don't. And he's tackled in front of the post. Hopgood out to the right. Moses with the kick. Again, Edwards is better positioned this time. It's a tactic. They obviously haven't completely done their homework on the Panthers, but Dylan Edwards has been learning throughout the course of the first 30 minutes, and he was perfectly positioned that time. But look at this. The last 10 minutes, 66% possession in favour of the Eels. It's been all Parramatta. 17 tackles inside Penrith's 22. They have just been dominant in the last 10 minutes. Fifth and last from inside their own 40. The kick is straight down the very big gullet of Mike Acevo. And that's a penalty now for they're imploding here, the Panthers. They are imploding in front of our very eyes. Self-destruct button has been hit. And we're just waiting for the explosion. Another penalty. 4 penalties to 1 in favour of the Eels. And they now start this set 40 metres out from the Penrith line. For the Panthers, at this particular point in time, I don't think half-time can come quick enough for them. And they'll be a different team in the second half. Don't worry about that. This game is far from over, but they are certainly self-destructing at the moment. Tackle 3, 20 metres out on this right-hand edge. And it could be another 6 again here, if they're not careful. Hodgson, dummies inside. They go outside. They've created space out to the left. Moses loops around. Here's the overlap. Blake, he doesn't use Sevo on the outside. And he goes back inside to Bryce Cartwright. And that's the 5th and last. Oh, no, it's not. Now it's the 5th and last. Brown takes it to ground. 10 metres out midfield. Bad play the ball, but they go to the right. Moses dinks it in over the top. And Edwards takes it just in the field of play. And he gets himself back to stay alive. Oh, no, he's taken an in goal. 20-metre tap. Just what they needed there, the Panthers. Fisher Harris trying to get his team marching forward. Parramatta well on top here. But Fisher Harris and now To'o. Another good run. And the Panthers just trying to lift here. Just trying to get themselves some front foot ball. Sorensen up over halfway on tackle 3. Here come the Panthers now. Spencer Leniu, he bursts through the first up tackle. He's got his Dax pulled down on the ground there. The cover defense. Cleary taking it to the line. Dummying again. And offloads. And it comes back to Luai. Luai cuts out Salmon and finds Tungo. And Tungo is tackled. 5th and last. 10 metres out here. Big line up to the right here for the Panthers. Luai out to Cleary. Cleary drops it in over the top. It's not deep enough, and it's taken by Wonga Blake. And at the moment, Mitchell Moses, can you believe it? Mitchell Moses is out kicking Nathan Cleary. Something I certainly wouldn't have predicted before this game started, that Mitch Moses would be having the better kicking game of the two players. Tackle 4 now as the Eels bring the ball off their own line. 8 points to 0 ahead. 7.5 minutes to go until half-time. Oh, now a big wedgie for Spencer Leniu. Oh, I've seen way too much of Spencer Leniu's underwear tonight. Taruva gets the ball again. It is definitely a thing that they are doing. A tactic they're using. They're keeping the kicks away from To'o. So if you're the Panthers, just do something a little different. Switch To'o and Taruva. Just switch them for at least one kick. Just do something different. Make the opposition think. Force a kicking error out of Moses as he tries to adapt. And a great run there from To'o. That is why they're keeping the ball away from him on those kick returns. Isaiah Yeo steps off the left foot, gets through the line. He's got support. Dylan Edwards is going to slide over and score. And just like that, Penrith are back. Absolutely nothing doing there. Isaiah Yeo lurches his way through the gap. And like every good fullback, working up in support on the inside shoulder, Dylan Edwards. Absolutely nothing doing here. Parramatta were all marked up, all numbered up. Isaiah Yeo steps off the left, shrugs off Hopgood, and that created the gap. There was absolutely nothing doing there. Parramatta's defensive line was fully set. And it's the big left foot step of Isaiah Yeo. Bumps off Hodgson. And that created the space out of absolutely nothing. That was like playing Rugby League Live 4 and hitting the sidestep button against a fully formed defensive line. A gap is created out of absolutely nowhere. Eight points to 4, kick to come. The try right beside the post. Should be an easy conversion for Nathan Cleary. And it is 8 points to 6, the Panthers. I certainly didn't think that they were out of this contest, but I mean, what can you say about that? They were just one set ago. Just one set of play prior to that. They were self-destructing. They had just spent 10 minutes down on the mat. Their backs, on their backs, completely prone. And then just like that, they fire back. And we've got a 2-point ball game as Parramatta get us underway. 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go until the break. And what a different environment it'll be. I'll tell you what else I've noticed. Something that is clearly a tactic. Keep an eye on this. How many wedgies are the Panthers players getting in the play the ball area? It's something that at least one of the Eels players clearly doing on purpose. Because I've seen so many Panthers players wedgied tonight. It's insane. It's obviously a tactic by at least one Eels player. As they keep the ball alive here on tackle 4. Back inside Eels territory. Edwards is on the inside shoulder of Cleary. And they're keeping the ball alive. Luai steps and goes almost through a gap. He's just brought down by the bootlaces. 5th and last. They're 30 out from the line. Cleary, another disappointing kick, it must be said. And Sivo takes that with ease. And Nathan Cleary just not getting those kicks in over the top, in my opinion, close enough to the line. And Sivo is taking them without any real pressure. Simonson trying to earn a penalty. The milk is not strong with that one. He needs to take some lessons off Mitch Moses. Mitch Moses knows how to milk a penalty or two. Jerome Luai's favouring a shoulder. Fifth and last, Moses kicks to Taruva again. No kick return meters tonight so far for Brian To'o. Congo from dummy half. Spencer Lenu's still in front of the play. The ball ripped out. This will be a penalty to the Panthers. 2.5 minutes to go, and that's just a stupid penalty from the Eels. Stupidity at its highest right there. 2.5 minutes to go till the break. Giving away a penalty and inviting the Premiers down into their own half. Penrith could go, theoretically, into halftime with a lead. Lenu takes on the line. Oh, by the way, Dylan Edwards is in one of my multis. Ha! Hoskin got a surrender there, mate. But all tangled up. Tackle 3. To the left they go. Isaiah Yeo, watch that step. No, he shuffles it along to Lenu. And Lenu spins in front of the post. 6 again to the Panthers. They will get the last say in this half. A full set of 6, 10 out from the Eels line. They go through the hands. Crichton. Oh, it just needed to go. Hosking just needed to get that pass away. And it was try time for the Panthers. And tensions are boiling now. Micah Sivo. Micah Sivo busted here for a high tackle. Then he gets him in a headlock. Oh, they're going to take the 2. Are the Panthers going to take the 2 here? They're going to try and go into halftime. All square. But that last play, Micah Sivo rushing up and making the tackle. Hosking juggled the ball. If he had have just got that pass away to his right, then Brian To'o was going to score in the corner. Less than a minute to go until the break, and Cleary has an opportunity to send us into halftime all square. I've got one check on the multi, not the main multi. My other multi, my completely random 3-leg multi that has Dylan Edwards, Spencer Lenu, and Micah Sivo. This is a big kick. 10 seconds to go till the break. What a turnaround it would be if they managed to get into this. 8 points all at the break. Cleary. This is a good camera angle. He moves in. He strikes it well. Cleary. It's right down the middle. It's 8 points all at halftime. And it must be said, no way, statistically, do the Panthers deserve that. Statistically. 8 points all at the break. A half of football that was dominated for large parts by Parramatta. Dominated. Possession, territory, time in the opposition 20. Dominated by the Eels for large chunks of that first half. But then the final 10 minutes, it just swung completely back the other way. And the Panthers get themselves back to 8 points all at the break. Unbelievable. Big second half incoming. Penrith Panthers, a premiership team doing what premiership teams do. How often did we see this from the likes of the Melbourne Storm, the Brisbane Broncos during their dominating era? Teams like the Roosters, they've all had moments like this. Championship moments where you've never got them beaten. You can be right on top for 70% of the contest, but that other 30% is all they need to stay on equal pegging. Quite incredible, I must say. 8 points all at halftime here. And another classic game shaping up between these two teams. Now, just imagine for a moment, if you will, if this were the grand final. Remember how, as far as a contest went, how disappointing the grand final was last year? It was just all Panthers from start to finish, basically, apart from that last 5 minutes where they went to sleep. Keith Kalama, ahoy mate. Thank you, Panthers. DJ Kaua. Let's be honest, Josh Hodgson is doing better than last week's game. Although Josh Hodgson has quite regularly been one of Parramatta's better players. Will says, okay, what's your prediction now, Wasted Water Sports? Who you got? Still the Panthers. I'm not moving off the Panthers. I tipped the Panthers before the game. I'm sticking with the Panthers. There's absolutely no reason to change. Oh, but you want a more specific prediction? You get the feeling the Panthers might just run away with this a little bit in the second half. If you're asking me for a more specific prediction, ideally what happens is all my try scorers score tries. But you just get the feeling Parramatta will be in the sheds, and Brad Arthur's job right now will be trying to keep their heads in the game. Because really, Parramatta will be sitting there. Those players, they will be sitting there going, we dominated. We dominated that half. And they really did. Parramatta were well on top for a majority of that half. To be sitting in those sheds and the score is even would just be demoralizing for any team in that situation. Whereas over in the other dressing room, James Intox, ahoy. Over in the Panthers dressing room, Ivan Cleary's going to be sitting there going, look, we were never in that. We've barely even fired a shot. And we've walked out of this 8 points all. Let's go out there and actually play in the second half and watch what happens. So we could see the Panthers just start to run away with this in the second half. Omar Durrani, Panthers are the best. Let's go. James Intox is at the game. Very nice. James Intox braving the weather. Yep, I was just saying that, James. Parramatta, well on top. It must be so demoralizing for them to go into the sheds and see that scoreboard. 8 points all. Mitch Moses, I think, is... Oh, it's not raining? It was raining at the start of the game. A little bit of drizzle. Not full-blown thunderstorm rain. There's definitely a little bit of drizzle about. Start of the game. Saw it with my own eyes. Well, not really. I saw it on the TV. What was I talking about? I don't remember. Eight points all at halftime, though. Story. Whether I remember what I'm talking about or not. The tackle Sivo made. Called a crusher by the ref. Yeah, well, I think the hit itself was fine. But when the player was on the ground, Sivo got him in a WWE-style headlock. Tried to rip the poor guy's skull clean off the neck. You don't normally see stuff like that. Sivo it seems to me like he's just a big teddy bear off the field. It's unusual to see him do stuff like that on the field. Was it a penalty? Look, some of the stuff we've seen. Some of the stuff we've penalised this year, that was probably a send-off. Thrifter, ahoy, mate. That last tackle was a shocker, a clothesline, and a headlock. Thought it was WrestleMania. Thank you for the segue. Speaking of WrestleMania, coming up April 2nd and 3rd. There it is. WrestleMania here on the Wasted World of Sports. Rick Grimes and I will be covering all the action live. We'll see if we can get Mike Sivo on the card. Seeing the way Mike Sivo just manhandled that poor bloke's head on the ground, I don't know if I'd be letting him babysit. He might lose a few gigs. No more babysitting for you, Mike Sivo. The parents come home and there's babies' limbs everywhere around the room. Blood and guts and gigs. No more babysitting gigs. Jobs. No more babysitting jobs. Evo. Sorry, I used to be an events promoter and I talk like it. Everything's a gig. A gig. I'm putting together this festival lineup. You interested in a gig? I thought the hit itself, personally, Thrifter, from the... It'd be the front on camera. I think from the front on camera, from behind, so from the Panthers perspective, the camera behind the Panthers, it looked like a high tackle. From behind the Eels, the camera behind the Eels defensive line, I believe the hit itself was fine. I think where the penalty came in was from what happened afterwards on the ground when Sivo did the rough up in the headlock. I really don't know what he was trying to do. He had him in a headlock and was kind of twisting. It really did. It looked like he was trying to get a cork stuck in a wine bottle out so that he could have a drink. Maybe he was having hallucinations. There was an episode of Tintin once where Captain Haddock was having hallucinations out in the desert, and he thought that Tintin was a giant wine bottle. He was literally doing that. He was trying to rip Tintin's head off. Couldn't get the damn cap off the liquor bottle. Anyway. Oh, wow. When I was in school, I was a big fan of Tintin. I collected all the books. I used to watch the cartoon. Anyway. Bobsy says Angus Crichton might be coming back soon. That'd be a very, very good return for the Roosters. He left for... He just had like a little bit of a personal mental health break, didn't he? Angus Crichton. Yeah, that'd be great. Great to see Angus back. Very good, very good. I wonder how the heat is for this game. I wonder if they're doing extended half-time breaks again this weekend. Half-time here. I suppose I better have a quick break myself before the second half gets back underway. 8 points all at the break. Parramatta, Penrith. We'll be back for the second half right after this. Teams getting ready to come out for the second half. Michelle, ahoy. James says Jerome Luai is copying it hard by the Para crowd. I've heard bits and pieces of it. When Jerome Luai dropped the ball, the crowd was all over him. 8 points to all of this one. A half that was dominated by Parramatta goes to the sheds, all tied up. I suppose for Parramatta, they just have to look at this and go, all right, the game starts over again. Let's get that domination back, get on top again, and do exactly what we did in the first half in the second half. Whereas for the Panthers, it'll be, as I suggested, look what we did with so little. Michelle says, my team is playing the other half's team in the AFL, and it's so boring. Well, you are watching AFL. Underway we go in the second half, and it's the Panthers who will get first use of the footy. Salmon with a hit up. Probably want some forwards doing the early meters off the kickoff. Mind you, what is Jermaine Salmon? He's a bit of a hybrid player, isn't he? Jermaine Salmon. Oh, Dustin Fisher, you graduate tomorrow. Oh, brilliant. Well, we can have a big party tomorrow for the Dolphins-Broncos game. We'll have a big graduation party. Luai kicks down to Gutherson. Gutherson's got nowhere to go. Zakor Amin. Go the Dolphins. Parramatta, they've got to do all the hard yards here, bring the ball out from their own end, just like the Panthers in the first half. Tackle 3, 30 metres out. They're going to kick on the fourth here. Moses from well inside the 40. He gets a good angle, but To'o is back, and To'o is going to get his first kick return of the night. Can you believe that? 42 minutes into the game, and Brian To'o is having his first kick return. Up towards halfway on tackle 3. A high shot here. The call coming in from the bunker. Cleary plugs it into halfway. Panthers on the attack. Remember my halftime prediction, Will? My halftime prediction was that the Panthers potentially run away with this here in the second half. Tackle 2 in front of the sticks. This is an opportunity for them. Yo, inside ball to Lenu. Lenu throws it to the ground. It's messy from Luai. As a matter of fact, Luai might have lost it. The crowd's going to be giving it to him again. A knock on against the Panthers. They're not going to worry about challenging it. The loose pass from Spencer Lenu. I don't know how that was deemed a knock on by Jerome Luai, but anyway, off the hook there, Parramatta. That would have been a massive start to the second half for the Panthers. Parramatta survive, though. They get the scrum down. Parramatta up towards their own 40-metre line. Tackle 3. Some good meters being made here. Matterson, the leg drive, the post-contact meters, just shy of the halfway mark. Greg takes his second hit up. And they are into Panthers territory here on tackle 5. Parramatta's completion rate tonight, 96%. Moses with the high ball, pressure on here for Taruva. Oh, and Taruva is up, taking the ball above everybody. Taruva's been very safe on those kick returns tonight. Oh, my God, Hodgson, what are you doing with your hands there, mate? That's your teammate. Somebody's been watching Hopawade videos. Here's the overlap for the Panthers. Oh, they probably needed somebody a bit quicker than Zach Hoskin on the edge of that. They just drew and passed through the hands. The overlap was created, but they had a forward out there. A second rower out on the wing. They needed something better than that. Tackle 2, 10 metres out. Gutherson goes the short side. Dummies that absolutely nobody falls for. And he's taken 20 out. Hodgson out of dummy half. Pulls them in. Fifth and last. They're stuck inside their own half at the moment. Moses gets caught up in his own defense. And it's kicked down to Taruva again. They are just picking out Taruva. Brian To'o has only had one kick return all night. Tungo up over the 40 on tackle 3. Cleary kicks on the 3rd from inside the 40. He's got a great angle on it. The bounce is infield, though. It bounces back infield. But boy, the 40-20 was well and truly on there. The Eels were not in position for that. A kind bounce. And the Panthers, they have started this second half. Look at this defense on Sebo. They're picking him up and dragging him towards the sideline on tackle 3. Oh, somebody's lost a boot. To'o's lost his shoe. Tackle 4. They are stuck in quicksand at the moment, the Eels. Cartwright, the try scorer from the first half, taken on tackle 5. Just outside their own 40, Moses puts the kick in. He's outside the 40, and it's down to Taruva again. Taruva's been very comfortable bringing the ball back. And that's surely been knocked out by Parramatta. They get away with it, though. I didn't think you were allowed to interfere with the arms of the dummy half, but anyway, they got away with that one, the Eels. And this is a better set defensively. 4th tackle. Cleary back inside to Edwards. Edwards gets away from Hodgson, fires it out to the left. Tungo steps inside, tries to get away from Penasini and cannot. It's the 5th and last. They're inside Parramatta's territory. Horrible pass from dummy half from Taruva. He's a winger, not a dummy half. And that's why. And it's taken by Gutherson, but he is swarmed by the Panthers' defense and tackled 20 out from his own line. The Panthers, you just sense they've gone up a gear here. And Parramatta are yet to go with them. Regan Toodads up to the 40. Another solid hit up from him. 5th and last Eels, just short of the halfway line. They've been stuck down their own end for the first 10 minutes of this second half. Moses puts the kick in to Taruva. Taruva bringing it back. 48 minutes gone in the game. We have had one kick return still from To'o. And here he is with the ball now. To'o gets away from one. Runs back in field. That is taken down in a 2-man tackle. 30 out from the Panthers line. Sonny Luke's on the field. Sonny Luke's on the field. Watch out for him. Quick play the ball. Front foot ball here. Sonny Luke dummies. Goes on his own. 5th and last. They stay on the short side. Cleary puts the ball high. The kick chase. Gutherson takes it comfortably. Gets away from the first chaser. But he's brought down. Oh, and he's holding his chin, Gutherson. And he wins a penalty for his team. Glenn Gutherson. Let's have a look at this on the replay. Oh, Milky Milk. Gutherson, the milkman. Gutherson and Mitch Moses have been going to the same acting class. But it's a penalty to the Eels. Is this what they need to get some front foot ball? They've been pinned down their own end. And this is a real opportunity for them now to get down in the Panthers' attacking territory and put some points on the board. By hook or by crook? It was by crook this time. Oh, and now a loose carry sees the Panthers gifted possession back, and Salmon brings it back. Oh, it's just falling to pieces a little bit here for Parramatta. Luai takes the line on, and he has tackled on halfway for tackle 1. Edwards skipping around, trying to find the smallest of gaps to get through. Luke to Kenny. Kenny, from playing dummy half all the first half, is now taking hit-ups on tackle 3. Cleary, inside ball to Hoskins. Keeps it alive. Luke stepping, ducking, weaving. He's tackled on tackle 4. They're 30 out from Parramatta's line. Cleary dummies and goes on his own. 5th and last. 20 out. Quick play the ball. Back to Cleary. Cleary grubbers it in. It bounces off an Eels player's foot. And they get possession. Could have gone absolutely anywhere, that deflection. Penrith looking good. They've gone up a gear or two, and Parramatta have not been able to go with them. As the trainer calls for this game to come to a halt, it's Jermaine Hopgood here, going off for a HIA, I dare say. Oh, Sonny Luke's in a bit of trouble too. Sonny Luke in a bit of trouble. Oh, friendly fire there. Jermaine Hopgood has had a head clash with Brendan Hands. So surely Brendan Hands has got to go off to get his head checked as well. Yeah, and Sonny Luke got himself in a terrible position to make that tackle. What I don't understand is how so many players at this level, at this elite level, so many players get into a tackling position with their head in such an awkward spot. We were trained, back when I played, we were trained at a very young age where to place your head when going in for a tackle. Always in behind or to the side of the attacker. So many guys I see, and that wasn't a situation where the attacking player has done a sidestep and he's ended up in an awkward spot. That's just, he was in an awkward spot to begin with. He was front on with his head down, facing the attacker. You see it so often. Don't understand how. At the back to Cleary, it goes. Short ball to Salmon. Salmon driving forward. They're 30 out again here, the Panthers. Left-hand side, Cleary keeps it alive to Luai. Cut out ball to Taruva. Taruva kicks a terrible kick into the end goal, but he gets a result from it. It's the worst kick you'll ever see in your bloody life. It is the absolute worst shambles of a kick you'll see in your life, but they get a result from it, and it will be a dropout, Parramatta. I have absolutely no idea what Gutherson's blowing up about. He clearly tapped the ball dead. I think Clint Gutherson might need to go off for a HIA here. Challenging this one. Oh, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe Clint Gutherson is actually a genius. This will be a knock-on from Taruva, and it'll be Parramatta ball. Successful challenge. A knock on in goal, and the Eels will get this ball 20-metre restart rather than a dropout and a 0 tackle. Good result from them. Great challenge. Clint Gutherson. But they're still stuck down this end of the field. The Parramatta Eels. Oh no, Sonny Luke has fouled his HIA. Sonny Luke is done for the night. Category 1 means he's automatically gone for next week as well. That is massive. That is a big turning point in this game. Mitch Kenny is going to move back to the hooker role. Back to number 9 for Mitch Kenny. That's huge in the context of this game. That actually swings this game in favour of Parramatta, in my opinion. Keeping the ball alive, breaking through tackles. Parramatta 5th and last, 10 out from the Panthers line. Sonny Luke has just been scrubbed out for the rest of this game. And Nathan Cleary it is, up above everybody to take that home. Stephen Crichton just shrugs off the attempted tackle. And he ends up 30 metres upfield. What a run by Crichton. But that is huge news. Sonny Luke failed HIA Category 1. It means he's out for the rest of this game. He's automatically out for next week as well. And that is just such a huge moment in this game that I personally think puts this game slightly in favour of Parramatta. Slightly in favour of Parramatta. Sonny Luke is a big, big out for the Panthers. Mike Acevo looks up from the kick. He finds some space. He charges forward. And Mitch Kenny got himself in an awkward spot here. Do not be surprised if the independent doctor gets involved. Mitch Kenny's very groggy. They're about to lose another hooker here. Sonny Luke has just failed a HIA and is gone. And Mitch Kenny has just copped those tree trunks that Mike Acevo calls legs to the side of the face. And he is going to get called off for sure by the independent doctor in the next stoppage of play. And I dare say, and now here's the offload. Eels, they need to look inside. They do look inside, and here's the try. Brendan Hands scores the try. Advantage Parramatta. They score the try right beside the post. The conversion's pretty much a given. And the Panthers now have no hooker on the field. Because this is where the independent doctor, I'm sure, I am positive, Mitch Kenny's about to get rubbed out of this game too. Sonny Luke was bad enough. That was advantage Parramatta. But now they're about to lose another player, I dare say. It hasn't happened yet. I'm just predicting. And this is now Parramatta's game to lose. 6 points ahead. Panthers 2 men down. This is Parramatta's game to lose now. The offload from Doorey created the space. They had options left and right there. Either one of them could have scored for the Eels there. He went inside, Hands on NRL debut. Over he dives. And we need to keep an eye on Mitch Kenny. Mitch Kenny was not in a good way there. I would be very surprised if the independent doctor is not calling him off any moment now. 21 and a half minutes to go. Parramatta. They survived. They survived. They answered. And this is their game to lose now with 21 and a half to go. But remember what happened at the back end of the first half. They can't afford to fall asleep. Catch you later, Michelle. Panthers get us back underway. And they've got a lot of work to do now, Penrith. A lot of work in this final 20 minutes. You just get the feeling they had their opportunities. The Panthers had their opportunities to start their second half, and they really made no inroads. And now Parramatta just look like they've got a new lease of life. On tackle 4, they're back into Panthers territory. Gutherson is taken down. 5th and last. They're 40 out from the line again here. To Moses. Moses has outkicked Cleary tonight with ease. And it's the kick to Taruva again. Taruva takes it well, but is then swamped. And he makes no meters. Parramatta are up in their faces in defence now. Well on top again. Now they found themselves in this position in the first half, let's not forget. But Parramatta have definitely gone up a few gears. And now it's Penrith who are struggling to stay in the contest. They've struggled to go with them. And they're stuck in their own half. 5th and last. Not even up to the halfway line. Cleary puts the ball into the left-hand corner. Well, it's actually straight down Gutherson's throat. Gutherson looks up and he's got meters of space in front of him. And he's held on tackle 1. Don't give away a penalty here, Panthers. Second tackle, they've got forward momentum. Parramatta, quick play the balls. Forward momentum. Crichton's up around the shoulders again. He's got to be careful. He's given away a few high shot penalties tonight. But rumbling upfield again here. Parramatta tackle 4 up to halfway. This game has swung on its head again. 5th and last. They're back into Panthers half. And where's Moses going to put the ball? High to Taruva. What a shock. Taruva takes it again. Comfortably as you like. KO Sports starts to buffer. Does that. $18 minutes, 43 seconds to go. 14 points to 8 in favour of the Eels. Risky offload here, but Cleary sees some space. Can he create something? Luai's on the inside. And he's taken on tackle 3. Just short of the halfway mark. Left-hand side. Cleary takes it to the line. Salmon's on his shoulder. Outside shoulder. And he gets up into Parramatta territory on tackle 4. Isaiah Yeo. Settling things down. For the 5th and last. 20 metres out they are now. They go to the right. Cleary. The kick on the inside. Great positional play there. Mitch Moses. And he takes the ball on the full. And it is just all Parramatta at the moment. You can hardly believe it. The Eels have been stinking their joint out for the first 3 weeks. They've come out in week 4. And they are well on top of the reigning champions at the moment. The completion rate from both teams has been nothing short of spectacular. 94% from the Eels, 90% from the Panthers. This has been a game of the highest standards, worthy of a grand final. So it would have been nice if Parramatta actually showed up for the grand final last year, wouldn't it? This is the sort of game that we could have got. Moses. Oh, that's going to be a penalty here to the home team for sure. Yep. Milky McGee is at it again. Mitchell Moses milks the bollocks out of another penalty and a gift 2 points for Parramatta. Parramatta are about to go 8 points in the lead. 16 minutes to go. Geez, do they take the 2? I think you keep the pressure on here. Parramatta are so far on top here. It is not a certain 2 points. I think they tap and go. Keep the pressure on. Parramatta could be 12 points clear. Oh, they're taking it 2. Okay. They're going to have an attempt at the 2. I think this is risky because if Mitch Moses misses this kick, what a lift that will be for the Panthers. Over it goes. 16 points to 8. 15 minutes to go. The Eels are right on top in this one. And I've got to credit where credit is due. I thought that Penrith would come out after half-time and really put the Eels to the sword. They showed signs early, but Parramatta held on. And it's been all the Eels again in the second half. Parramatta have pretty much dominated a majority of this entire contest. 10 minutes before halftime, they went to sleep. The first 5 or so minutes in the second half, they didn't really come out firing. But outside of that 15 minutes, it's been all Parramatta for this entire contest. Well on top of the reigning champions in every facet of the game for a majority, it must be said. And again, just making meters upfield at will. Fourth tackle, they're already up to halfway. A backline play, stretching the Panthers' defense on the 5th and last. They stay on the short side. Moses just plugs the ball in behind. Edwards moves forward, holds up, passes it across the face of goal, and To'o's finally going to get a run. And he gets away from the first up tackle, and that is why they have not kicked at him at all tonight. Edwards out of dummy half, spots a gap. Just chopped down and cover defense. But front foot ball here for the Panthers. Taruva takes it up into Eels territory on tackle 3. 13 and a half minutes to go. Cleary sends it out to To'o, steps back inside. Oh, he gets through. To'o can't get the offload away to Cleary in support. Here they go, though, the Panthers. Leota just settles it down on the 5th and last. 20 out. They go back to the left. Cleary through the hands. It's a bad pass to Luai. Luai gets it back to Kenny. It's over to Isaiah Yo. Spots a little bit of a gap. It's Fisher Harris who puts the kick through for himself. Is tackled by Gutherson. It's popped out the back and then lost forward. Clint Gutherson with the try saver. Potential match winner, I dare say. Gutherson. And now Milky McGee is at it again, trying to win a penalty for his team. Oh, get up, Princess. Up you get, Princess. Your milking skills have been good so far, but there's got to be a limit. What's he trying to milk a penalty for here? Nothing even happened. $16 points to 8. It stays. 12 minutes to go. That was a big moment in defense. Clint Gutherson on James Fisher-Harris. Stopped a certain try. I think with an 8-point lead, you can't really call it a match winner, but it was a guaranteed 6-pointer if Fisher-Harris goes over there. And the Panthers are right back in the contest. So a bit early to call it a match winner, but it was definitely a try saver. And a momentum swinger. Clint Gutherson. Great tackle. Where's Mitch Moses going to kick on the fifth and last? Oh, he kicked to Taruva. What a surprise. I actually can't believe that not even for one set of 6 have the Panthers switched Taruva and To'o to get To'o involved in these carries on the kick returns. I can't quite fathom it, to be honest. Tango up over halfway. The Panthers are just starting to get on the front foot here territorially. Tackle 4, they're inside Parramatta territory. Leota on the short ball from Isaiah Yeo. Fifth and last now. Cleary with the high ball. They haven't really got within striking distance. Gutherson's up, takes it comfortably. Gutherson very safe under the high ball tonight. And 10.5 minutes to go. Parramatta, 8-point advantage. Tackle 4 it is. They're stuck inside their own half again now, Parramatta. Fifth and last, they're at their own 40. Moses, where's he going to kick? Where do you think he'll kick? He kicks it to Taruva. And Taruva takes it on the full. He looks up and he sees acres of space in front of him. He's been copped a little high here, Taruva. And is this the penalty that swings this game? Is this the penalty that turns the match on its head again? A high tackle from the kick return is just inviting the Panthers down the other end of the field. And we are inside the last 10 minutes. Remember what happened inside the last 10 of the first half. Cleary puts it out on the halfway line. Makatoa is on report for that high shot. And just remember, we were in this exact situation in the first half. Parramatta were 8 points in the lead. 10 minutes to go until the break. And Penrith came storming back into the contest. Parramatta are 8 points in the lead. There's 9 minutes to go. And Penrith are starting this set. 40 out from Parramatta's line now on tackle 2. Cleary out the back to Luai. Edwards is in the line. Crichton stepping off his right boot. He's tackled on tackle 3. 20 out from the line. They stay on the short side. Edwards out of dummy half. He links up with Hosking. 10 metres out on tackle 4. This is their chance. This is potentially the game, I dare say. Luai. Just a nothing play there from Jerome Luai, who has not had the greatest of nights, it must be said. Fifth and last, it goes to Yeo. Out the back to Cleary. Short ball to Hosking. Straight through the gap and in under the post. Zach Hosking. Game back on. Inside the last 10 minutes again. We are seeing a repeat of the first half. Parramatta were numbered up. Another try out of absolutely nothing for Penrith. 16 points to 12. The kick to come. There was nothing happening there again. Have Parramatta fallen asleep again with 10 to go in a half of football? From right in front, Cleary pops this one over. 7.5 minutes to go. 2 points the difference. Strap yourselves in, as they say. 16-14. Parramatta, how important was that penalty goal now? How critical that penalty goal is starting to look. The last 7.5 minutes. Zach Hosking, his first NRL try. Congratulations to him. It's like the first half was just played on repeat in the second half at the moment. If that's the case, look out for Golden Point. Golden Point incoming. There's an awkward hush over the stadium as Fisher Harris brings it back from the kickoff. This is a huge set of 6. Massive set coming up here for both teams. Penrith on the attack. Taruva making some good meters. 7 minutes to go. Tackle 3. Lenu takes it up. 35 out from their own line. To the left they go. Cleary out the back to Luai. Tango takes on the line here. Shut down and driven sideways eventually. Tackle 4. 40 out from their own line. Salmon gets away from dummy half and takes it up to the halfway line. 5th and last Panthers. Cleary puts the ball into the corner. This will be an easy take for Gutherson. No pressure at all on Gutherson. And he brings it back his own 20. 6.5 minutes to go. Parramatta holding on to this 2-point lead. Sivo with the hit up. 1 out stuff here. Nothing fancy incoming from Parramatta. You can't shut up shop like this against Penrith, though. You can't do it. That's just inviting them back. 1 out stuff up to halfway. 5th and last on the halfway line. But where's Moses going to kick? Where do you reckon? Oh, he puts the ball down to Taruva. And Taruva takes it. There has only been 1 kick that I can remember all night long that has not gone to Taruva. Who's going to break first? Oh, To'o gets away from Blake. Oh, he holds on to him just by a thread of the jersey. Blake keeps hold of To'o. Dylan Edwards on tackle 3, up to the 40. Luai steps, keeps it alive to Edwards. Edwards again. Oh, and he's taken it around the chin there, Dylan Edwards. They get away with that. Parramatta, 4th tackle. Isaiah Yeo into Parramatta territory. Driving forward, Yeo. Big leg drive. Post-contact meters are plenty. That's the 5th and last. Inside the last 5 minutes. Cleary, the high ball. This is a much better kick chase. Pressure on Gutherson. Oh, Clint Gutherson, take a bow. He has had a blinder of a game. Credit where credit is due. I'm not a fan. But Clint Gutherson, what a take under pressure. The pressure of the match situation. The pressure of the kick chase. And he comes away with that. 4 minutes, 20 to go. 2 points the difference. It's tackle 4, the Eels. They are not doing anything fancy here. They are stuck in their own half. They're inside their own 40 on tackle 5. A big kick here from Moses to Taruva. Dylan Edwards is back there, though. Dylan Edwards takes it on the full. And he breaks the first up tackle, Edwards, and this is good field position for the Panthers. 4 minutes to go. Taruva's up to the halfway line on tackle 2. They're a bit slow getting back into the defensive line here on the right-hand edge. The Eels, as To'o goes over halfway on tackle 3. Panthers, all the front foot momentum. Oh, and Isaiah Yeo's clipped high. Oh, they get away with that. Oh, they get away with murder there, to be honest. The Eels have just got away with pure cold-blooded murder right in front of the post. Oh, that should have been a penalty. It should have been a gift 2 points to tie this game up. Ashley Klein did not have the guts to make that call, though. Parramatta have just got away with cold-blooded, pure murder here. I can't believe, from everything we've seen so far this year, the penalties that we've seen called, for that one not to be called, Ashley Klein did not want to. Ashley Klein didn't want to get bottled in the car park after the game by the home supporters. Shaka Hearts, ahoy! Parramatta have just gotten away with murder here tonight. Oh, wow. That is a penalty every day of the week and twice on Sundays. And a gift 2 points for the Panthers to tie it up. Now, back to Moses on the 5th and last. Dylan Edwards is back there. 2.5 minutes to go. The Panthers are running out of time. And now there's the mistake and there's the match. And the big talking point will be, as Isaac Tungo just drops this game and Parramatta win. But the big talking point will be Ashley Klein failing to give the penalty for a clear high shot on Isaiah Yeo right in front of the posts up the other end. That will be the talking point here. Inside the last 2 minutes, Parramatta get their first win of the season. Penrith have been defeated again. But the big talking point will be how Parramatta escaped a penalty right in front of the sticks in that last set. Oh, that is laughable that wasn't called. Absolutely laughable. The inconsistency in the calls in the NRL continues to be a huge issue. The home team benefiting from it on most occasions. Fifth and last here, the Eels. 10 metres out from the Panthers line. There's a minute to go. All they have to do is, well, just take the tackle, really. Yep. They take the tackle and the Panthers look up. They've got to go the length of the field. They have to go the length of the field here, the Panthers. And the Eels have gotten away with pure murder here tonight. That will be the talking point. Ashley Klein refusing to give a penalty for a clear and blatant high shot on Isaiah Yeo in front of the posts that would have tied this game up and sent us to Golden Point. Oh, there's a penalty. Well, he gives the penalty this time when it's not in kickable range. Interestingly enough, Ashley Klein's quite comfortable to give a penalty when it's not in kicking range. "17 seconds to go, and Junior Paulo is about to get 10 in the bin here, I dare say." He's done. Junior, they have captain challenged themselves into a send-off here, the Eels. The Parramatta Eels have just captains challenged themselves into a player being marched from the field. "17 seconds to go, though. The Panthers will get one shot here. The Panthers will get one shot. They will put this ball into touch, and Nathan Cleary from the tap will have to go for the 2-point drop goal. Here we go. This is it, the match. 2-point drop goal from Cleary. It's wide. Oh, it's on target, actually. Nathan Cleary, a 2-point drop goal. Nathan Cleary with the 2-point field goal. We are all square again. Can you believe it? And Parramatta will have to play Golden Point a man down. Parramatta are in Golden Point a man down. They just captains challenged themselves to a man down for Golden Point. Absolutely incredible scenes. And I've got to say, that is some sweet justice. Some sweet, pure justice. Because Penrith should have had a penalty down the other end ages ago to tie the game up. But Ashley Klein didn't have the bottle to call it. Penrith absolutely deserved that. 16 points all. We're going to Golden Point. Can you believe it? Wow. Twice in this game, Parramatta have let an 8-point lead slip inside the last 10 minutes of the half. Parramatta will be kicking off Golden Point. This is absolutely incredible. I can't believe what we are witnessing. A 2-point field goal to tie it up and send us into Golden Point. Parramatta on the back of the captains. It was just a penalty. It was only a penalty. They challenged the call of high tackle. The penalty turned into a sin bin. Talk about captains challenging yourself into just a horrible scenario. As Parramatta get us underway, Penrith will get first use. Robert M says, now since Parra are kicking off, do you get Nathan Cleary to the 40 to kick a field goal? I think in Golden Point, you want to take a higher percentage play than that. You want to get a little bit closer. You don't want to give away that 7-tackle set in Golden Point. Tackle 4, out of dummy half goes Mitch Kenny, gets away from the first tackle. Well, here we go. Let's see what they do. Fifth and last, they're 40 out. No, Cleary puts the ball high. Yes, percentage plays here. Percentage plays in Golden Point. That's what you do. The high ball to Sivo. And Parramatta start there. Oh, there's a high shot. That's a high shot and a penalty to Parramatta. Parramatta are going to get the first opportunity here in Golden Point. Mitch Kenny, just a little bit too high. He was falling, to be fair, but we've seen those penalised all season. No, that's not a send-off, this one. Oh, no. Here's the square up. Oh, we've had a call from up high here. The higher powers have got themselves involved here. That is not a send-off. No, that one is not a send-off. No way. Mitch Kenny's been sent off for 10. We have had a call from the higher powers. Come on. We've had a call from higher up here to square the ledger. And now it's back to 12 on 12. Penrith were not meant to win this game. Ashley Klein refused to give the penalty in front of the post that would have squared it up and sent us to Golden Point. The Panthers showed their championship qualities and squared it up anyway. But now they're doing everything they can to get Parramatta across the line here. Tackle 3 here. Parramatta, they're in range, well and truly, on tackle 4. I wouldn't be surprised if Parramatta get a penalty here to win the game. Mitch Moses right in front of the post. They're up quickly. And, yeah. Mitch Moses snaps it. Dylan Edwards was called off the chase. You just get the feeling that was inevitable. Parramatta were meant to win that one tonight. You just get that feeling. Well, Parramatta have avoided an 0-4 start to this season. $17 points to 16. Ashley Klein, man of the match for Parramatta. Wow, what an intense game, though. What an intense game. Well, my tipping shots, but I may as well drop out of the Wasted Water Sports tipping contest. Wasted Water Sports tipping contest. I won last year, by the way. I may as well drop out this year. Ah, jeez. Wasted Water Sports tipping not going well for me at all. $17 points to 16 here. Ashley Klein, man of the match for Parramatta. And that about sums it up, really. The Eels survived going 0-4 to start the season. A cheeky golden point victory. I got a bet return on my multi. Shack of Hearts asks, how does the challenge for foul play referral work? Well, here's the thing that happened in tonight's game. So Junior Paulo was penalised for a high tackle. There was obviously like 17 seconds to go in the game. So rather than risk Penrith picking up field and being in the exact position they got themselves in, Parramatta decided to challenge the call of a high shot, which they're entitled to do. But what happened in the process of the challenge, because you're allowed to... James, ahoy there, mate. Penrith Suns. You might want to, beat them at finals time before. Just saying. I mean, Parramatta were made to look quite foolish in the grand final last year. So, Junior Paulo penalised. They challenged the high tackle call, which they're allowed to do. You're allowed captain's challenge a high tackle. But then in the process of it being reviewed, they found that it was just straight force, direct contact with force to the head. And off he goes. So that was a scenario where a captain's challenge that they've done just for the hell of it. I mean, Parramatta had no reason to challenge that call other than hope and slow time down. And it actually worked to their disadvantage. But anyways, the bunker was looking out for them. Ashley Klein was looking out for them. The NRL was looking out for them tonight and made sure they got over the line. They squared it up. 17 points to 16, golden point victory. But what we've seen this year, how many just quality, gripping, exciting, down to the wire contests we have seen in the first 4 weeks so far. We have seen some incredible games. This is probably... Shack of Heart says, what was Kenny's high tackle in comparison to Paulo's? Absolutely just a penalty. Absolutely just a penalty. The send-off was a call from up above that was a square up for sure. If that is in any other scenario, Mitch Kenny does not get 10 in the bin for that. That was ridiculous. That was a ridiculous sin bin. A clear penalty, but a ridiculous sin bin. It was a square up. Robert David says, please confirm 16 all draw in 80 minutes. Yes, it was 16 all at the end of 80 minutes. And the game went to golden point. Paraleo says, I reckon Paulo might be suspended. I think Paulo is definitely being suspended. Definitely. That's a couple of weeks at least, Paulo's shot. That's at least 2 weeks. All right. Wasted World of Sports. Thank you so much for joining me as always. Very much appreciate your company. Looking forward to tomorrow. So we'll be back tomorrow for the Dolphins versus the Broncos. I won't have time tomorrow to do the first game, which is Storm Tigers, isn't it? Is it the Storm Tigers tomorrow? Yes, it is. Okay, so I'll still be at work. I won't be able to do the Storm Tigers game. But we will be back, Wasted World of Sports, tomorrow, 7 p.m. my time, for the Dolphins, Broncos. Apparently, it's a rivalry. We'll see how it goes. Can the Dolphins keep up all the good work that they've been doing there under Wayne Bennett? Broncos are in spectacular form to start the season again. Should be a cracking game. We can only hope. It's got a lot to live up to because the start of this week, that is going to be a hard game to top for excitement for the rest of the weekend. See how it goes. Thank you so much once again, Wasted World of Sports. Catch you tomorrow. Until then, cheers.